Hello, hello. I'm gonna be honest. I may or may not have lost track of time. So I'm sorry though. Nonetheless, I am here now. And today is a stream that's gonna be pretty short. I am sick. I mentioned it yesterday. Not really feeling too well. So not really sure like how much or how long I can stream. To be fair, the lesson is also short as well. Because well, I mean, I am gonna explain why like the lesson is short as well in the lesson. Nonetheless, though, that is the case. I'm just currently like fixing up something. Okay. Fucked up. Give me a second. I need I need. Okay, there you go. Fine. Okay. Like I said, this stream is going to be very short. It's not going to be long at all. Okay. Also, actually, as I was getting ready for the stream, right? As I was getting ready for the stream, there was I turned on my PC, right? I woke up not insanely long ago, right? I turn on my PC, go to the restroom, come back, and there's a spider on my desk, or like on my monitor, hanging. He's crawling down. Can you believe that? There's a spider who had the audacity to like just come up on me like that, to run up on me like that. That's crazy, I feel like. Right. I'm trying to make my tweet right now, by the way. Okay. I am preparing the tweet so I can actually tweet it out and go to the restroom real quick. Give me a second. I promise. I promise. I promise I'm trying to do right by you guys. Okay, everything should be fine now. Okay. Everything is godsend. We shall now I guess post a tweet, right? Like I said, this is gonna be very short. I would rush him actually. Hello. Hello. This stream, like I said, it's gonna be a very short lesson. I do kind of want to double stream. I don't know if I actually really can, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, I'm quite tired and sick still. I initially kind of did want to do more for the lesson, but then obviously yesterday I fell sick, so I couldn't really do much. So to explain what the lesson is going to be, the first, there's going to be a couple of slides, 3 slides, or no, so 3, 4. I guess technically 4. The first one is just like a title, really. The second one is going to be like a basic overview of when and what Cinco de Mayo is celebrating. Then the third is going to be more of like a modern day iteration or the modern day reality of Cinco de Mayo. The fourth slide, very short one to be honest with you. It's going to be basically showing you what you would see at a Cinco de Mayo celebration. Then again, most Mexican celebrations are going to have something very similar. Some differences, some key differences, sure, but not like insanely different. You'll see like a lot of what's it called? A lot of different, I suppose, places if you ever go to like a Mexican celebration. But similar clothes, similar fashion, similar food, and the attitude will be fairly similar. Nonetheless, though, my throat is hurting a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like, talking is probably not the best idea for me right now, with how bad my throat is. So I sound not very good, admittedly, but I will try for you guys. Okay. Okay. We get to the lesson now. The best lesson. Actually, I do hope to do more lessons in the future. When Day of the Dead comes around, and I would pronounce it in Spanish, Dia de Death. I would pronounce it in Spanish. My Spanish is not very good though. The word for dead, I cannot pronounce. It is for some reason insanely difficult for me to pronounce, which sucks, because it is the beginning of the word, which is the hardest part for me, is actually used in some slang as well. So unfortunately, I just cannot do anything about that. Okay, hopefully the spider that was around does not come around again. That'd be horrid, terrible, absolutely disgusting. Okay, here we go. Cinco de Mayo by Akane. Today is May 5th. May 5th, 2024. Next slide. So this slide will be a basic overview of Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo, or the 5th of May, is a holiday that celebrates the date of the Mexican Army's May 5th, 1862 victory over France at the Battle of Puebla during the Franco-Mexican War, which 1862 is when America was actually fighting their civil war, or was about to fight their civil war, which was happening, I believe, 1864 is when the war ended. So at this moment, the Confederate States of the US and the Union States were fighting each other. And basically all over the continent of Northern America, there is war. Right. The day, which falls on Sunday, May 5th in 2024, is also known as the Battle of Puebla Day. Puebla. While it is relatively a minor holiday in Mexico and the United States, has evolved to a more celebratory day of Mexican heritage and culture. For the most part, it's usually celebrated within heavy Mexican American population. This left side here, left side talks more actually about the actual battle itself. Cinco de Mayo is not Mexican Independence Day. That is an entirely different day. Okay. Instead, it commemorates a single battle of 1861. Benito Juarez, a lawyer and a member of the indigenous Zapotec tribe, was elected president of Mexico, which comes from the root word Mexixca, which comes from one of the Aztec tribes, one of the 3 Aztec tribes that made one of the 3, or the 3 Tribes Alliance, which made the Aztec Empire. At the time, the country was in a financial ruin, after years of internal strife, and the new president was forced to default on debt payments to European governments. Once France, Britain, and Spain sent naval forces to Veracruz, Mexico, demanding payment. Britain and Spain negotiated with Mexico and withdrew the forces. By negotiating, they would have gave them some resources, some people, maybe some information, and so on and so forth, basically just to pay off their debts to Europe. Because at this time, Spain had been colonizing Mexico and the land where Mexico is for a very long time. 1861, to be more precise, would have been since about the 1500s to the 1600s is when Spain started to colonize. And then I believe it was around 1600s when they started to colonize very heavily where modern day Mexico is. Last time, please. France, however, ruled by Napoleon III, decided to use this opportunity to carve an empire out of Mexican territory. Late in 1861, a well-armed French fleet stormed Veracruz, landing a large force of troops and driving out President VODS and his government into retreat. It, however, would be in the retreat where he would actually be able to make a stand and then come back, defeat the French army, thus marking day, May 5th of 1861, or 1862 actually technically. What's it called? Of 1862 battle against the French and winning actually. Another thing to note is the French Empire at this time was still relatively strong in a way. However, they lost a lot of land because Napoleon himself had actually given up a lot of land to the US. So they wanted to come back, make a comeback as an empire. And they thought they could do that with Mexico, which, oh shit. Within Mexico, Cinco de Mayo is primarily observed in the state of Puebla, which is one of the many Mexican states. There's Guadalajara, Sinaloa, Baja California. There's Chihuahua, Yucatan. There's many Mexican states. It's actually, Mexico may seem small in comparison to the US, and to be fair, it is. Or the US is a big country, but Mexico is also a fairly big country as well. Now, the state of Puebla is where the actual battle of that Cinco de Mayo represents actually happened. So, of course, it's going to be celebrated there. However, it's not actually a federal holiday. It is not a federally or really recognized holiday. However, traditions include military parades, recreations of the Battle of Puebla, and other festive events. For many Mexicans, however, May 5th is a day like any other. It is not a federal holiday. The offices, banks, and stores remain open. All this information is provided by history.com. So, to reiterate, for the most part, Cinco de Mayo as a holiday isn't really a thing. It's just a day, really. It would be as if us Americans were to celebrate the crossing of the Delaware River, or were to celebrate the first guillotine in the French Revolution, the start or some kind of victory. So it's not exactly a commonly celebrated not very commonly celebrated holiday. However, here on the left though, we'll learn about the US and their version of Cinco de Mayo. In the United States, Cinco de Mayo is widely interpreted as a celebration of Mexican culture. So basically, if you're Mexican, you can celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Even if you're not Mexican, it'd be great if you did. Seeing my culture, share with many other people, is a very beautiful thing. I really like it. Now, areas particularly that have a large population of Mexican Americans are going to be obviously celebrated more heavily than those without Mexican Americans. Chicano activists, which Chicano is just kind of refers to a sort of subculture or culture within the US as being Hispanic and Latino, which are two different things, by the way. Hispanic and Latinos. Latinos you can find in countries like Cuba, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and such. Hispanics would be more Peruvians or Mexican. Chicano kind of brings them both together. Chicano activists raised awareness of the holiday in the 1960s, in part because they identified with the victory of the indigenous Mexicans, such as Juarez, over European invaders during the Battle of Puebla. Today, revealers mark the occasion with parades, parties, mariachi music, Mexican folk dancing, and traditional foods such as tacos and mole poblano. Some of the largest festivals are held in Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Texas. Chicago is in Illinois, Los Angeles in California, which used to be part of Mexico, and Houston, Texas. Los Angeles has a massive Mexican American Chicano culture, Chicano population. So, of course, there'll be a very large celebration there. That aside, in most Mexican celebrations or holidays or gatherings, really, you're going to see a very common gathering of sort of music as well as food. Tacos and mole are some of the most popular foods. Quesadillas, tamales, such, and dulce is a very good piece of bread as well. A lot of foods you'll see commonly. Even for Day of the Dead, which for reference is October 31st to November 2nd. October 31st is Halloween, where you dress up as the dead, traditionally at least. However, November 1st is normally celebrated as Day of the Dead for most people. Some people interpret Day of the Dead, November 1st, being as it's called for children only, and you celebrate for the death of the children you know. And then November 2nd is when you celebrate the death of the adults that you know. It is believed that they come back for a short period of time, and so they are your guests, your honored guests. And here are some pictures of what you would see, both in Day of the Dead, Cinco de Mayo, and many other celebrations of sorts. The mariachi clothing and traditional clothing on the left or on the right of your screen. On the left, see these party flyers. You can see these all over Mexico. They're very common to find and to see during celebrations, birthdays, quinceañeras, which is a coming of age ceremony for women, for young women, for young Mexican girls, or for young Hispanic girls in general. 15 years old, I think. 15 to 16 years old is when the quinceañera happens. I don't actually have a traditional mariachi clothing like this does. However, what I used to have was a sort of formal collared shirt, a sort of traditional Mexican shirt. I don't have any poncho, or I don't have that anymore actually. But if you did want to get one, that's perfectly fine for the most part. Nonetheless, that wraps up Cinco de Mayo with Akane. That was a very short stream, like I said. It's gonna be a short lesson overall. We did go over quite a bit about Cinco de Mayo. We went over the battle. I stuttered a lot. I do have a natural stutter. Then we talked about when it was, May 5th, and how you can celebrate, really. What the celebrating is about. Mexican culture and heritage. If you want to go out today, get some tacos, quesadillas, that is perfectly fine by most. You don't really need to worry about it. I think most other fellow Mexicans would probably say most people celebrating Mexican culture is not Mexican cultural appropriation at all. If you want to celebrate our holidays, you're absolutely allowed to. You know, you don't really need a Mexican there. To be honest, I don't think so. Nonetheless, I may not look like it, but I am one as well. I am Mexican. Proudly so. More recently, proudly so. I've actually been more recently when I've been getting into more of my culture. Nonetheless, I do hope I was a good teacher, representative of like I said, a very short stream. A very, very short. That's all I really have time for. I suppose we might actually be able to watch a celebration, parade, a festival of Cinco de Mayo, if we can actually find one. Oh, here's actually a city in California. We shall play this video.
From traditional music, dances, and performances, San Diego got a head start on the Cinco de Mayo celebrations right here in the Gaslamp Quarter.
You'll see this style of dressing for Mexican women, very common.
San Diego's Gaslamp Quarter
They have these like the way that the dresses are made are very flow like, so they can do these kind of moves. And you'll see the circle are just so enchanting.
San Diego's Gaslamp Quarter transformed into a vibrant fiesta to kick off Cinco de Mayo weekend.
We're so close to the border, to Mexico, to Tijuana, so it's amazing to embrace that culture, to embrace the Chicano culture. Hey, come here, celebrate, and embrace everything that we have in San Diego.
The historic district hosted a variety of events to commemorate the Mexican holiday. The event featured folkloric dancers, live music, Mexican wrestling known as lucha libre, local vendors, and lowriders.
To get the compliments from everybody.
The little low riders are actually sort of a part of the Chicano culture that I talked about earlier as well, by the way.
So beautiful, and I wish I had a car like that. And can I take a picture of your car? And I know for myself it feels good, and for him it feels really good for people to enjoy the beauty of the car.
This is exciting. It's great to be here with my two girlfriends. We just came out. It's our first time coming out. The lucha libre was great. Embracing our Mexican roots. Viva Mexico. Just having a great time with everything.
Cinco de Mayo marks the anniversary of the 1862 victory by Mexican troops over French forces at the Battle of Puebla. For many, the holiday is a chance to soak in the vibrant Mexican traditions and celebrate Mexican culture and heritage.
I'm a first-born generation U.S. citizen, and my parents came from Mexico. And just being here in the U.S., and they're also embracing the roots of Mexico, which is actually great to do.
Talk about how cool it is to celebrate, and you don't have to be
That's a nice
Mexican
hat.
to
I actually need to get one, to be
Beautiful to
honest.
see the dancing, the food, the people.
Awesome to see the crowd.
Libre.
Excited to see the luchadores, to see the lowriders, embracing the culture of Mexico.
Celebrations continue tomorrow with other fun-filled events taking place across San Diego County. Garcia de la Fe, CBS 8.
There we go. That is some of the sort of heritage, or not like just like some of the celebrations you'll see. I think favorite part, other than aside from aside from like the food, obviously, I think the dancing. Oh shit. The dancing is something that I love. I don't know if what's it called? I don't know if I prefer the dancing or the food more, because the festivities are obviously quite fun, are very nice. But yes, that is it. That is the Mexican part of the stream. I guess actually that is the entire stream. We're done. I'm tired. You're tired. I'm sick. Well, I took some medicine earlier. I need to take some more medicine, clearly. But I'm sorry. It cannot be longer. I could not. I suppose share more with you. But I do plan on doing, obviously, any more Mexican culture, heritage, and so on, stuff like that. Lessons in the future as well. So, it feels really bad. Oh, there you go. But that's it for today. I will hopefully see you guys all very soon, and perhaps I will see you guys later tonight, or tomorrow morning, or tomorrow. I don't know. I need to find out what it is I want to stream. I've not been able to really find out what it is I wanted to stream yet, to be perfectly honest with you. So, we'll see. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it. And hopefully I represented my culture well. That's it. Good night now. Or I suppose good afternoon now. Goodbye.